Good morning, Heavenly Human. This is Glenn Cobbin Senior Podcast, One Heartbeat, sponsored by Destiny of Hope, helping our people excel. We have a lady in the house this morning, and we're going to be talking about the puppet master. Who's pulling your strings? That's going to get deep, y'all, so get ready. And we're going to let her introduce herself. And she have a very different perspective. I know her. She's a friend of mine. And guess what? I think we were classmates if I had stayed in school. So now you know we wasn't classmates because I didn't stay in school. What's your name, lady? Can you introduce yourself and let me know who the heck you are? Let the public know.
Hey, I'm Dana LaFontaine, Rockbridge class of 80, and we are mates. Doesn't have to be class, but we are mates. So, good morning.
Oh, Dana, let me start off by asking you a question. What do you think about the puppet master? Yeah, give me some insight on that, will you please?
Okay, this is just my perspective, but as I was thinking about it, the puppet master, who's pulling your strings? Who are you allowing to control your moves, the way you move around, the decisions you make? Make sure whoever's pulling your strings is in it for your good, and really that's just God. That just needs to be God, our Creator, the Almighty. Let Him direct your paths, show you which way to go, empower you as you make those moves, as you put your feet forward in your faith, and be very wary and be very aware of who you allow in your circle, that they're not trying to manipulate or take over the strings.
So are you saying, Dana, that sometimes there's people that can be your puppet master, or there's a situation that can be your puppet master, or is there a culture that can be your puppet master? Is there a church that can be your puppet master? Is there a child that can be your puppet master? Is there gold, diamonds, houses, drugs, sex? Is there other things that can pull your strings, Dana?
Absolutely, if you're not on guard. So make sure you're always on guard, aware, examine people that may come in and out of your life, what their motives are, was the topic of one of Glenn's podcasts previously. Like, really just be aware of who God may bring into your life, or who God didn't bring into your life, but you just allowed in because of a weakness or something like what you just explained. Just be aware, be on guard.
So okay, good. Now we get into the meat now. Right now she's giving you the milk. We're gonna get into the meat. What happens if you let something besides God be your puppet master? As you said, there's many things that can be your puppet master. What can happen? What is the end result? Or what is the beginning, the middle, and the end of somebody else or something else being your puppet master, pulling your strings, Dana?
Chaos.
Oh.
Pure chaos.
Did y'all hear that? Say it again.
Chaos.
Okay, tell me about what kind of chaos you're talking about. Can you die? Can you get hooked on drugs? Can you not know who you are? Can you get hurt about being in love with somebody who don't love you back? What kind of chaos are you talking about, Dana?
All that. Emotional chaos, spiritual chaos. Like, someone may say something or lead you astray to doubt what you know is truth. Like I said, emotional, all what you just said about infatuation, misguided love, misguided intentions, financial, sexual, just anything that you let take the place of what you know to be truth.
Wow, did y'all hear what Dana's talking about? Let me piggyback on something she said. She said that you can get your strings pulled by something that may not be truth or may be truth. You you have to be your own individual. What she's talking about, and she had said before that you have to be. She described her creator as God, and I love that about her. I love that word God. The many different names. The master of the day of judgment. That's my favorite, one of my favorites. But the beginning and the end, the creator. I love that name. If anybody other than God is pulling your strings, then she said you headed for chaos. Now we know as people, we're creatures of habit. So we always see something that we want, or a material good, or somebody who's to call themselves trying to live for prestige, or somebody who's competing with the next person over here, or a culture of people who's guiding another person, or another culture of people, or trying to enslave another culture of people. We know about all these things, but Dana I agree with you 100%. You said it leads to chaos, right?
Right.
So then when this chaos happens, what happens to your family? What happens to your friends? What happens to your community, Dana?
It just gets all discombobulated, and you lose your focus of what you've built through God, like your family unit. Like you have an order of things that God has directed you. He's told you to. You've allowed Him to let Him lead your feet. Like put your
Wow.
faith into action in all areas of your life. And when you allow something to sneak in, and it may just happen like that. It may just be so sneaky, evil based, and you're just not aware because number one, maybe you're not staying prayed up or girded up in foundational truths. You let down. Something may have happened in your life that you've let down. You've lost your focus, and then this kind of thing sneaks in, and like you said, or like I said, it's just chaos, and it may not happen right away. It may seep and fester. And so that's why it's so important to just start your day with God, end your day with God, all sprinkled through your day, those truths, stay read up, all those things, because it could just end in disaster.
Okay, you said it ended in disaster. Are you talking about on this plane, Dana? Why would somebody follow something that they can't see? Oh, why should somebody follow God? I mean, who is God? What does God mean? Well, what is the end result about you following God? Tell me a little bit more about it for our audience out there.
Well, for me, following God and serving God is, I don't know, for lack of better words, maybe a means to an end. Like hope and destiny is eternal life with God. Being with God
Absolutely.
in glory. I want that same, which it won't be the same. It's not the same here on earth, but I want to be in that heavenly plane, that state of serving Him and receiving His mercy.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I want to pattern my days to achieve that, to have that. It's not really achievement, it's a blessing, it's a gift, it's a promise, it's a state of mind, it's peace, it's understanding, it's knowledge in Him. That's it.
Wow, wow. Dana, she's getting deep. I told you we can get deep on this show. This is the Glenn Cobbin Senior Podcast, sponsored by Destiny of Hope, helping our people excel. We can be reached anytime at 573-268-5192. What Dana's talking about is we talking about a whole nother world out there, a whole nother system. We talking about going back where we came from because I believe that this is a temporal world right here. This physical world is temporal. I believe that there is a place that we call heavens. Matter of fact, I believe in the seven heavens, the seven skies. I believe that there's paradise beyond this world. I believe there won't be no more pain, no more heartache, no more gnashing of your teeth, no more jealousy, no more envy. I believe these things. And the way the world's going now, we know that we believe liars and deceivers more than we believe the truth. So what she's talking about, there's a road that leads to paradise that I'm gonna give her an opportunity to see if she and I, cause we didn't dream this up on this podcast. It's rough, rugged, and raw. Ain't no editing going on here. Okay, we ain't discussed this before we got here. I know what I feel about paradise. She knows what she feels, and so far we feel the same way. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna let Dana. You understand? Because I've talked about heaven and hell, Dana. I on my other podcast, I believe in it totally. Because if there wasn't a heaven and hell, I would like somebody in this world to tell me how many eyelashes I have on my eyelid. If you can do this, I'll follow you wherever you can go. And I haven't found nobody yet, but I know one being that can. That's God Almighty, Allah, Jehovah, the supreme being, the omnipotent, the omniscient, the master of the day of judgment, the king of the worlds. So now, Dana's going to explain to you, right, Dana, that how do you get to this place of paradise or heaven or anything like that? Come on, tell me how you get to it, because God made some promises. You said that, right? Now stand on it.
Okay, well, this is probably where we're going to maybe come up against some differences. Because, I'm learning some stuff, people. I'm just telling you.
Hey, this is your day. Hey, this is hey. Do not have to apologize. You do not have to explain. There's no compulsion in religion. This is nothing that a person. She's not forcing this down your throat. She's merely telling you on the Glenn Cobbin Senior Podcast, One Heartbeat, because we believe in the animals, the human, and nature are directly connected to one another. We are nature. We are nature. If you take every race of people, put them on a starting block on a 100-degree day and on all white, when they run that mile and they come back and they look at their collar, it's going to be the same color. I guarantee you that. So we ain't got to worry about that. What we wanted to know, Dana, is that what is your version? What do you see? How do your God or the angels or your teaching assure you that there's a way to get to where you want to be? You said you want to get to heaven, right?
Right.
How you gonna get there? Let me rephrase the question. How you gonna get to heaven? Say it now. Now you ain't gotta explain nothing. Just tell me how you gonna do it.
I believe that the Bible says, scriptures say,
Uh-oh, here we
whether
go.
they've been interpreted or whatever, faith without works is dead. I don't believe that's what's getting me to heaven. I believe that my belief and my relationship and my walk that matches my talk
Oh yeah.
is evidenced by is that what I do, what my faith does with my feet is evidenced by my relationship, personal, intimate knowledge, understanding, awe, respect for God, our Creator, our Father, lover of my soul, worthy to be praised, Almighty Provider.
Wow.
All of it.
Give it to me.
It's just overwhelming. I can't do anything but want to serve Him. He's been so merciful to me, showed me so much grace. Why would I not want to? When I was 5, I had an understanding that what God did for me. And I remember I went home and I told my dad, he wasn't at church that Sunday, and he was getting ready to leave town on a trip. And I was like, I want to give God back my new 2-wheeler. Like, how can we get it to God, Daddy? And he was like, that's the beauty of it, babe. You don't have to give anything back to God. He did it all for you.
Wow.
And that has resonated with me. There's been times where I've let down. I don't like to use that term backslided. We just walked away from God. God didn't walk away from us. He's standing in the same place He's always been. We walked away from Him. But that is the thrust. That is my life mission, to give back to a God that has been so gracious to me.
Wow. Wow. Did y'all hear that? Hey man, that's beautiful, Dana. That's gorgeous. That right there is intimate. That's intimate stuff. And she used the word merciful. And in my learning, in my reading, in my life, you can do all the good things you want to do, which are great. That helps you get to where you want to go. But we can't never, in my teaching, get to paradise with the mercy unless we have the mercy of the Creator. And so today we're talking about the puppet master, because there's things going on around me that I know from experience, and I know from helping what I've done since I've been home from prison, even when I was on the street, that somebody was pulling my strings. I was a puppet and a parrot. I was being told what to do, and I was being told what to say, and then I could attribute that to me being a weak individual or mesmerized by the glittering glamour of what life was offering me on this plane right here. But we all know everything glitter ain't gold, right? So it landed me in institutions, jails, prisons, from 7 to 38. 7 years old to 38, I was in some type of crime, some type of juvenile probation, some type of juvenile facility, some type of adult facility, scared straight in the walls, all this stuff that came because I was listening to the wrong puppet master. Now we have people out here in this world who are listening to puppet masters who don't know where they're going. All they got to do is pump the brakes, y'all. Pump the brakes and make sure that your heart is genuine. Make sure that that piece of flesh that's inside your body where I believe the Creator is supposed to go, don't put nothing else in there. Not prestige, not money, not nothing. Anything that goes in that place, sex, love, mama, daddy, children, brother, sister, cars, jewelry, whatever goes in that place where God's supposed to be in your heart, then that's going to be your puppet master. You know, and we in the city of Columbia, y'all know about the Good Old Boy program here. When this title came to my heart about the puppet master, I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to get this out there, and I'm going deep now because there's a puppet master right here in Columbia, Missouri, that there's nobody trying to confront. And when I confronted them, I end up without a job, as my friend Judy Hubbard did, and that is the city of Columbia. You know, these are the people up there that's running things up there without the knowledge of the people. And when you run something without the knowledge of the people, then you call yourself a puppet master, and then you are the puppet master because you are pulling the strings on what goes on in Columbia, Missouri. And we have to stand by each other and let them know that they're human just like we are. It don't make no difference what side of the tracks you live on or where you come from or how you was raised. You know, so in knowing the puppet master that Dana's serving, which I call God, then we know we got to confront the puppet master of the people that who call themselves the puppet master, or they're doing it without knowledge, however they're doing it, from the mayor down. We have to let them know that, hold up, wait a minute, we are human beings, man. We want equality in anything that is out there. And if we can't get it, guess what? We're going to confront you in love now, because I believe in that. Because my puppet master, who I call God, Allah, Jehovah, my puppet master want me to do it in love. So I'm putting it out there for this reason. The puppet master that has got so-called individuals thinking they're doing something real clever and slick or letting them get away with something that they shouldn't get away with, they're following the wrong puppet master. Don't get it twisted. I'm not God by no means, but I got a lot of experience about what I'm talking about. We have to follow that which is right. We have to deal just in the affairs of man. If we don't deal just in the affairs of man, we are following the wrong puppet master. Now, let's go deep. Dana had said something about following God. This God, the creator, the beginning and the end. Okay? That spirit also it cannot be circumscribed by finite minds, because the wisdom that God holds is infinite. We don't know why he do what he do. All we got to do is believe and have faith. Now, there's also another entity out there that's called Satan, the devil, Lucifer, Iblis, the chief deceiver. Okay? That spirit right there can get in the minds and the heart and the souls of people to make them think they're the puppet master, to start treating people differently, start treating them down, looking down on people, being envious and jealous of individuals, stealing people's ideals and programs and the ways they're trying to make money, you know, not being fair, lying, deceitfulness, bigotry, all these things that harm and hurt. Instead of, we call them the lower self. So we want to demonstrate on high. We want to demonstrate the higher self. And we want to demonstrate the 5 highest principles known to man: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And sometimes we have to confront situations that we're not comfortable with. We have to confront situations of people with money. We have to, and power, and skin color. We have to confront these things, or different religions, or politicians. We have to confront them as being ordinary people. We have to confront them. And look, it's okay to confront them, because this is why. Because they're only human. They can't decide where I go when my soul is taken. They can't eat me. They can't take my soul. The only puppet master that can take my soul is the one who created my soul. So they're not no worry. I want the people to know. I want to be a voice for the people. I want to be a speech for the speechless. I want y'all to know that the people, you do not have to be subservient to another human being. God created all of us equal. God Almighty, Allah Almighty, Jehovah Almighty created all of us equal. So we don't have to be subservient. We have to be real. We have to be genuine. We have to be loyal. We have to be respectful. And main thing, we have to love the individual, because this is Glenn Cobbin Sr. One Heartbeat podcast. And that means that everybody, animals, human, and nature are all on one accord. The mayor, he's my brother. Whether he's right or wrong, he's my brother. Brian Treese is my brother. Whether he's doing things right, underhand, or whatever, he's sneaky, he's my brother. John Glasgow, Carol Rose, that's my brother. And Carol Rose is my sister. Jeff Jones is my brother. Whether they doing things that's not in accord or right for the people, we have to confront this situation, because somebody is pulling their strings. And if they're not following the one who created them, guess what? There's going to be, what Dana said earlier, chaos. So we want to be treated fairly. So, and then, before I get Dana back on here, I want to mention one thing about the most oppressed people that I've ever endured or studied about, and that is the so-called African American, which we know that's a bogus name. Black people, we know that's a bogus name. Negro, nigger, and colored, we know all those are bogus names given to us by a human being, by another human. God never called us none of those names. So those was given to us by slaveholders, when they brought us from the shores of Africa to the shores of America and took the shackles off of our wrist and our ankle and put them on our brains. Then they start calling us these names. I just want to get that clear. Now, what I want everybody to understand and to know, that in our community, the most oppressed people that I've endured, that I've studied about, are the Native American and the so-called, for guys that talk in the language they can understand, I'm gonna say African Americans, and I'll explain that and break it down for you, because we know that ain't real. For the darker skinned people, the Hispanics, the Asians, and the Native Americans, okay? We have got to fight for our rights in a way that's pleasing to the one that created us. We shouldn't worry about death. We shouldn't worry about not having enough food. We have to worry about, all we have to do is put our faith in the one who created us and deal just in the affairs of man. We can't be jealous of our brother or our sister. We have to treat them like they are people, like they are equal to us. The female got to be treated like a lady, a woman. We need to get our feet off the top of their heads. They're not living up to their potential, but they carrying the world because the men are weak. And anybody can challenge this. I don't really care. So come on and just, this is the Glenn Cobbin Sr. One Heartbeat podcast. And this right here is about Puppet Master, who's pulling your strings. I can be reached anytime at 573-268-5192, sponsored by Destiny of Hope. And the reason that this topic came to me, because it's time to speak up and speak out. So the people that have been oppressed and are still oppressed and have been turned their minds against one another have to stop that. That guy in the background right there, he talked about the class. That's what that says in the background, Malcolm X. We have to know that everybody's equal, for one. And we cannot be jealous of what the next man has, what he looks like, what he wears, what he's driving, who his friends are, how often he's on Facebook, how many businesses he got, how many businesses he don't have, how much time he did in prison, how long his hair is, how much gold he's wearing, who his family members are. We cannot be jealous of these type of things, man. We just can't be. And I can say that openly and free-heartedly, because that's one thing that my father and my mother taught us, man, not to be haters, man. I can say that about the Cobbins, the original Cobbins. I can say that about my brothers and sisters, especially my brothers. I have never seen them hate on another man. That's the truth. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's good, man. So now, that being said, I'm getting ready to bring my guests back in here, because that's just something I had to get out of me. And this is just part one, because we're going to keep doing this thing. Long as the Creator give us the voice to speak out there and try to eventually market this thing so we can get all across the world with this message, or a message that can be challenged, we can do that. So now I'm going to bring Dana back on the show. And what she got something in her hand I know she wants to read. And here she is, or she wants to speak about. Okay, Dan, you got the floor.
Okay, I'm the less passionate, although I am passionate, but my voice isn't as strong as Glenn's. But a couple of things he said that I wanted to just expound on. One was about Satan, the deceiver, the evil one. Satan will whisper in your ear, like really intimately, snaky, like that. Hey girl, listen to this.
My God.
Like, be aware of that. Like, the devil is real and the demons are real and they hover right over you, waiting to see where they can get in and confuse you. Talk about chaos. Don't give him any power. Fight him back with the words of God. The Bible says, Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan. Flee. Get out of my space." So, oh look, I got a little strong there, like Lynn. The other thing that I thought was that when he said that God did not call people out by their color or their race or their culture, God just said, "If my people who are called by my name," like there ain't anything else all around that. You can't put anything in there. That's just how it is. Faith. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. Like you can't see what's going on. It's just that it will all manifest itself into beauty and truth and power and glory. Not for us, for God. And the other thing about the city of Columbia and any political entity, but this is our community, justice requires truth. And that's what we need to get to.
Wow.
Before we can have justice.
And also peace. That's right. I agree 100%. Y'all heard that. That's from Donna LaFontaine, y'all. Yeah, she said everybody expressed their passion in different ways, and she has the passion, trust me. I don't know a lot about her, but what she's done in the months that I've known her close up, she's done things that people has got Martin Luther King Awards haven't done. And that's the truth. So let's get back to the puppet master. We want you to look yourself in the eye. Look yourself in the eye and ask yourself, who's pulling your strings today? Who's making you tick? Who's making you compete with another man or another woman in business or in dressing or in having cars or in hairstyles or in friends or whatever, in prestige, or who's really pulling your string? Are you a bootlicker, an ass kisser? Who's really pulling your strings? Are you a man? Are you a solid individual? Are you a solid man? Are you a solid woman? Are you a solid woman? Are you a hater? Who's really making these decisions for you? Who's really giving you motivation to do this, that, or the third? Who's really doing it? Can you look yourself in the eye and say you're a genuine individual? Can you look yourself in the eye and say, you know what, I'm proud of who I am. I want my kids to be proud of me. Can you do that? If you can't do that, then you need to search yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but there's time as long as you're still breathing to get it right. What you think I'm doing? I am trying to get it right, and it's not easy.
And there's so much freedom in determining and finding out those things about yourself. Like you will just breathe this big sigh of, hey, I am doing this.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know I'm pure and right before God.
Absolutely.
Nobody's pulling any of my strings except for God.
Man, that it is. And that big deep breath. Oh my goodness. And you got to study to show yourself approved. We're not just here for you to take our word, because if I had took the pastor's word, if I took the reverend's word, the imam's word, the bishop's word, I wouldn't be here today. I'd probably be dead or doing life in prison, to be honest with you. Because don't nobody talk about heaven and hell no more in church. You know what I mean? It's all what Sue wore to the club, or what Billy wearing, what Billy got, what kind of suit he got on, what Sally Mae car is. Look at her hair, girl. Oh my God. Oh, don't he look good? Oh, look at her, man. Oh, look at that skirt she wore. Oh, her toes is fine. Oh my goodness. Oh, her teeth are so pretty. Oh man, I'd like to get some of that. Oh, look at him. Well, I ride him all day. That's what's going on in church. Shame on whoever's doing that, including me. I'm guilty too. I've done it. But now I look at myself in the eye and I get it out of me because I don't want to be that person. I want to live a pious and pure life. And it's a process, not an event. It's a marathon, not a 100-yard dash. So as long as you breathe and you have a chance to get it right before, because you want, if something happened to you today, you're not promised tomorrow. If you die right now, you want to die in a state of peace. You want to die in a state of felicity, so that so your Creator can be proud of you. You know what I mean? Because see, I believe in hellfire. I believe in another world beyond this world. And if you study like I study, you'll understand it too. And that's what this podcast is all about. This is called One Heartbeat. One heartbeat. One heartbeat with animals, nature, and humans. Because we all accord together. If I hurt me, I'm hurting you. If I hurt you, I'm hurting her. If I'm hurting her, I'm hurting her. If I'm doing this to somebody, I'm doing it to animal. If I do it to animal, I'm doing it to nature. So we trying to live in peace and harmony in this world. We trying to get to back to our Creator. We came from the earth. We trying to get back there. Our soul needs to ascend to a higher plane, to a plane that can never know the pain that we're feeling down here. If you haven't heard me or my story or some of my story, I've been in pain for decades. I've been shot up, cut up, in prison, beat, all the above. All praise be to Allah. All praise be to Jehovah. All praise be to the Lord of the world. All praise be to the Master of the Day of Judgment. All praise be to the Creator. Because without all that stuff that I went through, I wouldn't be able to look you in the eye and tell you how I feel genuinely. I got a game. Even though I was genuine in the game, I was doing wrong. I was serving the wrong master, and we cannot serve both masters. But God, in His infinite wisdom, gave the only breathing deity the ability to reason and rationale, and then call us human beings. And we're also the most ungrateful, Dana. You know what I mean? So come on with that. Come on.
What was he doing? What was he doing? You gotta trust. That's all there is.
That's all there's to it.
That's right.
Okay.
You were talking about your past, and like those chains are broken. God took His big old bolt cutters and said, "Break it."
Click them. That's right. No doubt about it.
That's right.
And that's the beauty.
Whatever your chains are, whatever's binding you, there is freedom in God. In knowing Him and loving Him and giving Him adoration, confessing to Him, thanking Him, being grateful for His mercies, supplicating on behalf of your family, your friends, our community. Like, we are intercessors to God. Like, I want to bring my request and your request to His feet.
Absolutely.
Not just so merciful. He just loves us so much. He wants a relationship with us. He's jealous for our hearts, for that intimacy. Like, I'd rather be intimate with God than any man. Like,
whoa.
That's what's up.
I can go deep. Silk is back in the house. Come on, explain that to me. Yeah. Come on, Daddy. You said it. Bring it on. Bring it on.
God loves me more than any human man could. More than my kids could. More than
that's right.
my friends could. Like, I
Absolutely.
want to give Him the place in my heart that he deserves and He warrants and He demands, and it just bubbles up and overflows. And I'm a single woman and I've been alone, lonely, but God has sustained me. Like, He's giving me encouragement and support and this unfathomable peace and love, and I'm forever eternally grateful for that.
Absolutely. Hey, that's people. Dana has explained that so eloquently and so beautifully about the intimacy that you have to have with the one who created you. And so we must understand that God, in His infinite wisdom, know that if we love Him first, He will bring that particular one in your life when that time comes. And when that particular one leaves, you can only be inspired by that particular one's departure. or vice versa. But you still got to stay intimate with the one who created you. Because if you don't, then how can you really love the one you're with? If you don't love God in a genuine and first and foremost, you can't love your child the best way. And this takes time to understand. Now, this is something that, that people just don't understand. It ain't 1 + 1. This is trigonometry, but it's so simple if you open your heart. My favorite saying on my podcast is that the mind is like a parachute. Come on, we can all say it together. It only works if it's open. Can you dig it? If you get up to 10,000 feet and close that parachute, guess what's going to happen? Your butt going to crash.
Splat.
Did y'all hear that? So now, if you close your mind, what's going to happen? What is it?
Splat. All that.
All the above, man. So this ain't nothing that's, this ain't new, man. This message is for the people out there to fight for equality, to fight for justice, to fight for peace. Now, I don't mean physical fight because, anybody can fight physically. Who does that? But see, we got to fight within ourselves. The first fight start within ourselves because man, the truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Okay? So we got to understand that we can feed the evil, we can feed the good within us. We was created this way. So if you feed the good, guess what's going to transpire? Guess what you're going to exhibit? The good. Now, if you feed that evil inside of you, that's what you're going to exhibit. That evil. So it all depends on when you feed. So feed yourself the goodness of God on a daily basis. All day, every day, praise God Almighty. I don't do too